Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. How are you all doing this evening? It is great to be here tonight. The furnace is going full blast. It's cold, wintry weather here, so sorry about that. It'll calm down in a minute. Audio will get better. Just hang in there. Let's see who we got with us so far this evening. It's been a busy night here in the chat. Some guys got started quite early today, having a party without me. There's David G., Paul Rapp, Ian Haywood. Good to see you guys, and always good to see folks showing up early and letting me know that I'm not going to be alone. David Bookshop. Hazard Borden. Good to see you, Hazard. Chris Weber. Big Dave. Ronnie Ewing. Ronnie says he's under winter storm watch. That's a shock coming back from Florida, I'm sure, Ronnie. Hope you stay warm and safe there. There's Hillbilly Piper. How's it going, Donnie? Phil Rivera. Good to see you, Phil. Flint Hill Breyer. First Person Smoker. Algonquin Breyer. Gary Edminster. Patrick Grant. Patrick's saying here about the... My goodness, there's a lot of folks in here tonight. Yes. John Brett, good evening, John. Yes, please do hit that like button. We'll talk about that more later. I really do appreciate it. Bona Piper, good to see you, Christian. Lurker Troy. Bob Kraus and Chris Coate. And Justin, what's happening with you, brother? Backcountry Pipes. I think we're going up. My goodness. This is getting harder to do. Which is a good problem to have. So yes, it's Friday. Been bizarrely warm the past couple days, in the 40s, and now tomorrow another 2 inches of snow, followed by rain and weather in the 40s on Sunday. So who knows? Who knows? Just crazy. Michael Case and Lord Hogarth, and there's my buddy Poem. Good to see you folks coming in. I'm going to wait till the furnace goes off to really start talking because it's annoying. Gary Edminster's got a Berry Monkey IPA. My goodness, Gary. That doesn't seem like you. There's the Smooth Piper. Hello, Peter. I may or may not have mentioned that I am smoking the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli with Haunted Bookshop, as is our tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And Donnie getting all formal with Mr. Smooth. He is Mr. Smooth, no question about it. Cypress Piper, good evening. For myself, one, Gary, you know, I think I will. Although I'm not having any of that fancy stuff like you tonight. Dry Fly Fisher 11, good to see you, buddy. I'm going back to roots here, and yeah, there we go. Good old Yingling. Mainly because I went out to dinner last night and had 2 fancy beers. But Yingling is a pretty good beer. Cheers, y'all. Jeffrey Feinberg. Hello there, Jeffrey. Flint Hill Briar has had some ruins of Windsor and now switching to Burley Morning Pipe. Sounds good. Ah, Dry Fly Fisher got a copy of What the Trout Said. Yeah, fantastic book. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Phil's gonna pop a black butt. Is it butt or butte porter? Let's say butte. It sounds better. It is a great beer, Donnie. Simple, but good. Solid beer. Silence at last. Tom, do you seriously not know what smooth means? My goodness. We got to educate these folks, Peter. We are getting them in here fast and furiously, Paul. I agree. First person smoker, I can't tell you what the Trout said. I don't want to give away the book. It was very wordy. The Trout, not the book. Butte? Is that how I was supposed to say it? Why all the T's? Is it Butte? Brutal enough. Good to see you tonight. Hazard Borden lost an eBay estate that had a great Costello. He lost it by $4. That always stinks. I was bidding on a, it wasn't a pipe, it was a drill guide, and I thought I had found a bargain because it was 99 cents with like no bids, and no, actually there was one bid. I think it started at 99 cents and it was bid up to like $1.50 with one bid, and it was labeled a Miller. It was titled Miller Falls drill gauge, but if you looked at the pictures, it was actually a Starrett. And I thought, well, I wouldn't mind a Miller's Fall, but a Starrett would be great for $1.50. So I put in a maximum bid of $10 because thought, well, if I get it for $10, that's great. If I don't, no big loss. And of course, the other guy got it for $10.25 or $10.50, whatever the minimum step is. So he had a slightly higher maximum bid than I did. And, you always see that and think, oh, gee, if only I had bid $11. But for all I know, his maximum bid was $100. So anyway, I didn't get that. You like the Muppets, Big Dave? Yes, yes. Yeah, so we've got this is just a fantastic week. It's so we got the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, which I'm sorry I have to point out that was incredible. Yeah, I would have been happy if they just won. I was happy that they just played, but to see them, I mean, Kansas City didn't. I know a lot of Kansas City fans. I don't want to say anymore, but that was must have been a hard game for you guys to watch. Oh, that's interesting, Christian. BMW is investing in hydrogen engine technology. Well, worked out for the Hindenburg, I suppose. No, I'm just kidding. But hydrogen does have its drawbacks, so we'll see. But of course, the electric vehicles are not helping us. Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so the Eagles won the Super Bowl. My favorite holidays this week. Start of spring training, pitchers and catchers report. And like the next, like 2 days later, you got the Eagles doing their Super Bowl parade. So you got spring training starting, you got what a wonderful time to be alive and living outside of Philadelphia, not in Philadelphia. Yeah. It was great. They spanked the Kermit, yes. The meme that Big Dave was referring to was it was funny in and of itself. It was the Muppet Eagle. I don't know what the Eagle's name is, and he was all dressed in like Eagles uniform, and then next to him was Kermit dressed in a Kansas City uniform, and they're both just standing there looking like they're posing for an official NFL poster, and it's got the Super Bowl 59 above it and all that. Uh, and that was funny enough, but I when I put it on Instagram, I said I might be stating the obvious, but eagles do eat frogs. And this was like a couple hours before the game started. That could have gone poorly, but I was hoping for a shutout too, Flint Hill, but it was unlikely. Although I honestly, I think the last, I think they kind of stopped defending a bit towards the end there, which was fine. I mean, there wasn't enough time for them to really do anything. Uh, oh, backcountry pipes. That, yeah, no, no. I'll let it go. I'm in too good of a mood to argue over the Red Sox. I assume you're talking about the Red Sox. I don't know, Big Dave. I wonder if, I mean, he was sacked more times in that game than I think he was sacked all season. That might not be true, but he was sacked a lot. And there were what, two in a row, maybe three in a row at one point. It was a fun game to watch. It really, for as an Eagles fan, it was a fun game to watch. Oh, that's Sam the Eagle. I didn't know he actually had a name, Big Dave. So thank you, Doug Owen. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. I haven't seen that picture, Hazard, but yeah, I like it. Yeah, they did start putting the second string in, and I was surprised that Hurts came out. I mean, if I was Hurts, I would have wanted to finish that game out. I mean, I guess you want to let the second string play too, so they feel like they're part of it. But geez, Kansas City didn't want to seem greedy. Is that what it is, Michael? Or as my wife's pointed out, and we joke about this. We were joking earlier in the day about the allegations of the refs being involved in the game, and I forget if she said it or if I said, but anyway, I think she said it. She said that I guess Andy Reid's check bounced. Armchair Piper, good to see you, Ed. And Blake's Pipes. I don't think I said hello to you yet, buddy. Good to see you. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes. Yeah, no question, Pepe. I mean, he is really something. Uh, Couch, what's up with all the horses in the Philly riots after the Super Bowl? Hey, horses are Eagles fans too, Couch. And riot is a bit overstated, my goodness. Oh, Phil, that's hilarious. You're right, though. You never see a straight-on shot of an American Eagle. That's really funny. Hey, Doug, I'm 100% with you on that. You missed earlier. I said that this is such a great week because my favorite holiday is this week, pitchers and catchers report. So I'm with you. The real sport is just around the corner. Football is just something to watch while the baseball players take a break. Oh, you saw fans riding the horses. Well, I could think of a couple possibilities. I mean, they might have taken their own horses. Seems unlikely. Uh, they might be police horses. They might have knocked the policeman off of them. I don't know. I honestly didn't see any of it, Couch. So there are horses in Philadelphia, though. There's not a lot of them, but there are horses. Oh, there was plenty of brotherly love, Michael. It was just kept within the family. Phil watches baseball for the cheerleaders. Ah, Phil. I highly doubt they own horses too, Couch. I will check into it after this and let you know. I didn't know there was a horse thing going on. I think it's always been that way, Doug. It's hard to get too hyped up over baseball. I mean, you can get hyped up over it. You can get emotional, but you don't normally get climbing up greased poles and riding horses. Uh, Philadelphia fans have such a bad rap, and some of it's deserved. But they when they announce they're going to grease the poles, I've got people that send me. One guy in particular, I won't call you out, but you know who you are. Always has to ask me, and anytime there's a playoff game, did they get the grease in for the poles? And my reaction to that is always the same. You throw snowballs at Santa Claus once, and you're labeled for life. Honestly, Big Dave, I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know what went on in Philly. I mean, I'm far enough away that it doesn't really affect me. I work with some people that live in Philadelphia, though, and they didn't say anything. So whatever might have happened, it wasn't widespread or anything. There you go, Big Dave. Hockey is, but it's interesting. Hockey is definitely a high energy sport, and there's always been associated with fighting and all that. But you don't really think of hockey fans as getting all that violent. Now, soccer fans, you got to watch out for. There's some crazy folk. Ron Hardcrackers, old Joe Cranston, a Caminetto 102 KS business pipe with Ozark cream stout. Sounds good, Ron. Oh, Couch, given what you're saying there about being sick, I mean, sick of watching Kansas City win, this was a game you should have watched. Yeah, I heard about the misspelling thing, Couch. I can't explain that. So there are no soccer fans. They're just called hooligans, says Michael Case. Or 12-year-old girls, because apparently, like, anyone under the age of about 12 is forced to play soccer, and then they grow up and realize that it's just a random walk. Yeah, I know I'm getting all the soccer fans mad at me. That's interesting, Doug. Just 3 minutes? Wow. Now, snooker, there's a sport for you. Is snooker the same thing as pool or billiards, or is something different? It's a type of pool game, right? When I was a kid, there used to be every week there was bowling on TV. I mean, that was a big deal. And there was even a show called Bowling for Dollars or something like that. That was like amateur bowling. And then there would be, not every week, but every couple weeks there would be pool on TV. And I used to like watching that because sometimes the ball would do things it shouldn't be able to do, and it just was kind of neat to watch. Yeah, I know the soccer fans are getting mad at me, Phil. I apologize to them, but not really because I meant what I said. I'm sure she could, Lord Hogarth. I'm sure she could. You remember Bowling for Dollars, Phil? That's kind of odd, Couch. I used to bowl a lot when I was in college because it was a thing I could do that allowed me to not go to classes. We had a bowling alley at the university that all you had to do was show your card and you could bowl all day if you wanted to. I got pretty good. Okay, Doug. So snooker is like mini pool. Like mini golf is the golf, snooker is the pool. Somebody mentioned curling. I actually find curling oddly watchable. Curling and cricket are two games that I truly don't understand, but I enjoy watching them because it's just fascinating trying to figure them out. And I suppose I could get the rules and actually learn, but then I would probably not be interested in watching it. Patrick, you remember Bowling for Dollars too? Okay. I remember seeing it was late at night, and one of the ESPNs had the National Cornhole Championship, and I thought, boy, we've come to this. So yeah, Codger Jim, they will put anything on TV. I remember dialing for dollars too. Yes, yes, Phil. Paint dry for dollars. Hey, if you got through it, count you got through it. So related to them putting anything on TV, and keeping with the sports theme for a bit, Does anybody understand this pickleball thing? I mean, to me, it just seems like it's like the wiffle ball version of baseball. Like, well, it's the wiffle ball version of tennis, I guess. It's like something you might do it at like in somebody's backyard or on the beach or something. But I was in, we went to it's a sports bar, I guess, for dinner this a couple months ago. And I went in to use the restroom, and it's one of these sports bars that has the little TV screens above the urinals. Sorry if this is too much information, but and as I'm watching the TV, they had an ad on for the Pickleball Network. It's 24/7 pickleball coverage. And I thought, what? I couldn't have been more surprised if they had an ad for, I don't know, the Whittling Network or something like that. Doug says completely different game, a lot more skill. I was just making fun of it, Doug. I'm sure it does. Snooker's more nuanced. Ah, interesting. So wait a minute. I'm sorry, I had to. Now, you don't have to wait. I had to stop the scroll. 9-ball game played on a 4 foot by 8 foot. So it's a 5x9 so it's a bigger table with smaller balls. Interesting. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate learning about that. Welsh Piper. Hope you have a great weekend too, buddy. Power slap? I don't even want to know, Hazard. The pickle is not green and not shaped like a pickle. And Lord Hogarth pulled a hamstring. Oh my goodness. Scaled down version of tennis. Yeah. Interesting, Doug. Dan Falcone, first time in the chat. Welcome, Dan. It's good to see you. Now, there you go, David. If they had a female beach volleyball network, I would understand that. I'm not sure if curling started in Scotland. It might have started up like in, what am I trying to say? It might be a North American thing. I don't know. It certainly is popular in Scotland. I don't know where it started. Jim McKay. That brings back memories, Michael. They did cover the odd stuff, but they didn't cover it constantly, you know? Ah, so it's the fault of the folks out on your coast, Doug. Couch, I barely know what Reddit is, let alone posting in Reddit pipe/r. Anybody here do the Reddit? Sorry, my age requires me to put the word "the" in front of Reddit. I do that for Google too. Scandinavia, Norway. For some reason, I'm stuck on, what is the place I'm trying to think of? What is that far northeastern portion of Nova Scotia? That's what I was trying to think of. But I don't know why I believe that. Okay, Flynn Hill says he thinks it's Scotland. Patrick says it is Scotland in the 16th century. Ah. Shooting a rifle and skiing at the same time. Oh, it's r/. Oh yeah, Couch. I post on that. No, that I don't know. It's different r/. What did you have before /r? Oh, whatever. Remember Norm Macdonald was talking about the Olympics once, and he said how some of the sports are weird. And he says, have you seen this one where you run 5 miles and then you fish?" Oh no, Doug. Canada's our buddy. We don't want to do that. Some folks just don't get the joke. Now, hurling is a sport. I've seen live hurling, and that's an impressive. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Maybe I didn't see live hurling. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. So somebody remind me of what hurling is, and it's not what you do after a heavy Saturday night, as Michael Case points out. What I'm thinking of is tossing the cater, which is a sight to behold. I've seen that live, and it is amazing. Biathlon, so there is still skiing and shooting. Now, do you ski and then get off the skis and shoot, or are you actually skiing while you shooting while you're skiing? Curling would be cool if the opposing team could give hit checks. Danny, good day to you. Good to see you. Chicken bowling. Oh, Phil. Does anybody remember the ducks landing on ice? I think it was Wonderful World of Disney used to show it. It was hilarious. These ducks would come in to land on the pond, and it was frozen, and they would land and like spin as they slid, and oh, it was a great time. I think they set it to music. My dad used to love watching that, and I did too. It was hilarious. Ah, Danny's got old Joe Krantz in his 673 tribute. Nice, Danny. Peter, I am drinking, although I'm not, I'm forgetting that I have it. I am drinking a Yingling Lager. If I can manage not to choke. There we go. If you miss targets, you have to ski penalty laps. Is that really true? That just seems crazy. I think you're having me on with that one, Flint Hill. Only people who attend Scottish games know about tossing the caber. I did attend. It was a Celtic festival, I think, and it was combined with the Scottish games. I think they called them the Highland Games. It was amazing. I mean, those guys are big. Tank biathlon in Russia? That could be fun. Shoot a gun by skiing is the reverse gear. That's funny. Rollerball. Somebody mentioned roller derby. Doug Owen's desperately trying to get us onto pipes. Do any of you guys like the Seattle Pipe Club plum pudding? He's thinking about shipping some tins to Mike for a giveaway. Oh, okay, Doug, that would be fun. Dragon's Milk, a tasty stout. I don't think I've tried that one, Danny. Half and half in your coffee and your Stanwell, Jeffrey. Hey, there you go. Phil's giving us the rules of the Russian tank biathlon. So you drink vodka, sprint a mile in a tank, take another shot, and then take a shot. That last shot being an actual shot. There really are penalty laps, Flint Hill. I'm going to look this up after. I got homework. I got to look up biathlon and what's going on with horses in Philadelphia. Olympic skiing has really gone downhill. Haha. Pun fully intended, right, Dry Fly Fisher? Finnish tank biathlon. Oh, Hey, Phil Rivera, what was that movie about the Finnish guy that was fighting the Soviets that you told me about? That was a fantastic movie. And since Flint Hill's bringing up the Finnish throwing Molotov cocktails, I thought it was worth bringing it up. Sailor, how you doing, Sailor? We should ship our unopened and unwanted tins of tobacco. No, no, please don't do that. I mean, something special like what Doug is suggesting, it would be very nice, but please don't. Can't thunk it, Phil. Yeah, I'll look it up, but for next week if we don't think of it. That was a great movie. It's going to be difficult, Hazard. I do believe that Joe has passed on. Oh, is it you, Poem? I apologize. Yes, Sisa was the name of the movie. Sisa. What a fantastic movie. No, Phil, it was Sisa. I'm sorry, I was confused. I think I'm thinking of right around the same time you told me about the Mel Gibson Santa Claus movie, which was also a fantastically good movie. Uh, but if you guys haven't seen Sisa, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's about this guy who was with the Finnish army and was fighting the Soviet. It's just an amazingly good movie. Mushroom Leg, hello, good to see you. And there's Steve. Steve Stanzak. I know who you are, Steve. Good to see you. He was more than a sniper, Paul. He was a killing machine, and it's it's one of these movies that is almost it's almost difficult to suspend disbelief, but it doesn't quite go that far, so you can still enjoy it. But it's very close to being unbelievable. He was John Wick's father. I believe that, Gary. Back to the Towering Inferno. Oh, great to see you, Mushroom Leg. Oh, it's called Sisu. Home is correcting it, and Phil said the same. Sisu. Finnish Rambo is kind of accurate, but more realistic, I'd say, than Rambo. Sisu the White Death. Even better. All right, Danny. Thanks for joining us, buddy. He wouldn't yell Adrian, Ian. He was a man of few words. Very few words. Stuka 65. You can't be late. You're right on time. That's right, Palm. He was like the last guy you'd expect to be a threat. Paul's got some good tequila. Sailor says Sisu is the Finnish concept of inner strength. Makes sense. The Unknown Soldier. I'll have to look that one up, Bill. I never saw Castaway, Larker Troy. It's got that Hanks fellow in it. Yeah, I think the bank scene was the only time he spoke, Garrett. You're right. Well, I believe I have finished my haunted bookshop. Yeah, Rocky didn't know a lot of words, Michael. Patrick switching to low country, natural Virginia Burley, and a Master de Paja Pompeii 400. Bill's making me put my glasses on. Hiya, hiya, ha. About the White Death Sniper in Finnish Winter War. One more. Okay. Oh, that poor lizard, Ronnie. he's, he's uh he's going to be quite out of his element. I agree with you, creator. His survival instinct really was the point of the story. Yeah. Infringinator, thank you. Hillbilly Piper wants to know what's on deck. Well, I'm going to go with the tobacco of the month because I've been a bit reluctant, not reluctant, negligent in smoking it this week, and I'll explain to you why. But I am going to put the tobacco of the month in my pipe-like object, CaneRod Pipe Zero, a pipe-like object. So we'll get some of that out. And for those of you that don't remember, the tobacco of the month is as voted by by you, the viewers of the Friday night live stream. It is LJ Peretti's 150 Flake, relatively new sample of that. Beautiful tobacco, really nice stuff. Nice, thick, rich, dark flakes. So, give me a moment to rub some of this into my pipe here. It does break up nicely. It's not difficult to just kind of twist and shove into the pipe as you're twisting it. And the reason I haven't been smoking it much this week is, well, the twofold. One is I've been really busy. Work has been. I like to. Okay, I'm spoiled. So, because of the way my job has evolved, I can work from home often, at least once a week, and I can do it in the morning, pretty much every day. So I don't often go in prior to. I don't get there prior to 10 o'clock very often. I'm working, I actually start work most days by 7:30. So they're getting plenty of work out of me. And this has evolved as a nice routine. It lets me deal with email from the day before and sort of get things ready before I go in and have to actually deal with people. And it's worked fine for a while now. But the stars aligned this past week, and I had to be in between 7:30 and 9 most days this week, and that just it kind of puts a dent in my smoking because I'll smoke a couple bowls while I'm working in the morning, which is fine, but then I'm getting a hankering for the one at bookshop, so it makes it harder to move something else into the rotation. So that's reason number one. No excuse. I should still be smoking the tobacco of the month. A lizard in your car is better than a beetle down your pants, says Lord Hogarth. That should be a t-shirt. No question about it. Infringinator, I have not seen Timber Drifter in a while. Hope he's doing okay. Probably just busy. All right, Hazard, thanks for joining us, buddy. Have a great weekend. And give our best to the wife. Yeah, dry fly fisher, it can really put a damper on your pipe smoking, huh? So that's the one reason, is just that, when I get home, I want to have some on a bookshop just to make up for what I didn't have. But the other reason is I put in an order. So smokingpipes.com for some reason started they had a 20% off Cornell and Deal sale before the what I was expecting for the IPSD sale. And I thought, well, heck, they've got Haunted Bookshop in stock, and it's probably going to be out of stock by the time International Pipe Smoking Day rolls around. So I proactively grabbed some Haunted Bookshop, and while I was doing that, I got 8 ounces of Bayou Morning. I don't talk about Bayou Morning much. I don't smoke it much, to be honest, but I really like it. It's very good. I prefer Bayou Morning Flake, which is an extremely good blend, but I don't like buying tins. So if they sold Bayou Morning Flake in bulk, I would probably smoke it a lot more. But I picked this up because there was the sale going on. I haven't had it in a while, and so when that arrived, I wanted that. So, and I've been enjoying it. But this is very good stuff. This Peretti 150. How do you, Michael Case wants to know how married guys get away with spending time here on Valentine's Day. I was basically told by my wife to go away tonight, so. You're right on time, Smarty Bob. Right on time. So what we did, we actually went out to dinner last night. My wife has this theory that restaurants are too crowded on Valentine's Day. I don't know if that's true because we've never actually found out, because she's so convinced that they're going to be too crowded that we always go out at least the night before or the weekend after, depending. So we went out to dinner last night, had a nice dinner at one of the local restaurants, and so that kind of gets me off the hook for tonight. Big Country Briar, how you doing, Cole? Good to see you tonight. Yeah, the flake is fantastic. The Bayou Morning is pretty good too, but the flake is just a incredibly good blend. Your wife is at a soccer game with her boss, Stutka? Yeah, it's probably fine. Sadly, Michael, I think you're right about that because she's upstairs right now watching whatever she wants on TV and doing her thing, and she's happy. So. No, I did not have steak and au gratin potatoes in Fringinator. I had penne pasta in a vodka sauce. So Hillbilly Piper, you like the Bayou Morning, but not the flake version. Interesting. So the Smooth Piper has finished his haunted bookshop and he's loading up Watch City Cigar Tobacco number 7 in his Canadian Fisher Supreme pipe. Nice. It's funny. I don't go on many live streams just because I don't have the time. I enjoy going on other people's live streams when I can, but it's been a while. But they would always do, bowl calls and stuff, and I'd always write, want a bookshop and a pipe. and and you guys have all these, like long you know, Canadian Fisher Supreme pipe. I'd be like haunted bookshop and a billiard. Valentine's Day is a trap, a cunning trap. Yes, you're right, Michael. You know, the thing is, I have for years now. I mean, before I was married, and I've been married, it's going to be 26 years. I used to always, when women were around, it would be like, you know, February 10th or something. I'd say, oh, my favorite holiday is coming up. And they get really excited. And what I mean is the start of spring training, you know, pitchers and catchers reporting. And the look on their face when I would tell them that was always entertaining to me. And I had a friend when I was in graduate school who referred to February 14th as the real Halloween, which was not very popular with the ladies, but well, isn't vodka the Russian word for water, Phil? I think water of life is whiskey. It's ishkaba in Gaelic, maybe. I don't know. Gaelic or maybe Scottish. I think that means water of life, but I think vodka is just water, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Creator, it depends on how long I'm thinking about keeping the bulk blend around. Like that old joke, Grants. That Bayou Morning, I've got another one of these Carter Hall things upstairs it had Low Country Virginia Burley in it, but it's empty now, so I'll probably put it in that, and it'll be fine for, you know, the 4-6 months or so. With Haunted Bookshop, the way I've been buying, I bought 2 pounds for the sale, and that'll just stay in the bags until I get to it. And it seems to be fine. But if I'm thinking I'm going to be putting it away for years, you know, like if I take one of those pounds and decide to put it away for my retirement stash, that'll go into jars. But if I'm thinking it's going to be less than a year, I'll just leave it in the bags, and it's never really been a problem. Oh, I'm glad you liked that video, David. It did well. I've been really pleased the last 2 weeks. I've really gotten a lot of views on my videos, and I'm grateful for that. I it's a bit of a joke, but you know, it turns out if you have a pipe and tobacco channel and you make videos about pipes and tobaccos, you get more views than if you don't. Go figure, right? Little water. Okay, Stuka. Yeah, it is interesting, Phil, how the names are all very similar. Doug calls single malt scotch holy water. There you go. Scotch translates to get off my lawn. Oh, Ron, that is nice. Shrimp and grits. Good stuff. 48th anniversary dinner. Congratulations, Ron. That is amazing. Water still is bad for you, Gary. It's very difficult to breathe when you're under it. And it's very corrosive to iron. So, you know. Rattray's Howl of the Wind is one of Palm's favorite Perique blends. That's a good one. Oh, thank you, Backcountry Pipe. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, Sailor, I don't know if I want to even go into the psychology of that one. In Fringinator, we usually do 90 minutes, so I go to about 9:30, depending on how quickly I drink my beer. But if you got someplace else to be, feel free. We, we don't take attendance or anything. We should, but we don't. No, kidding. Oh, in Fringinator, I hope that's not true. The power outage thing is funny to me, Phil. It's your power's out, you got no TV, you got no internet. What else are you gonna do? Here you go, Donnie. That's a good rule. I like it. True, Michael. Not everybody has the same rule book when it comes to that, do they? Main breaker didn't work. Lord Hogarth, did she immediately go look out the front door to see if the neighbor's power was out? Hey, Ron, sometimes our delusions are all we've got to stick to, right? Yeah, that's what you get for playing with the power, Lord Hogarth. Yeah, we don't want that alignment, Sailor. Mother's Day and a power outage. My goodness. That's true, Paul. Delusions can be true friends in times of need. No, Infringinator, that's well, I wish it was a Babe Ruth baseball. That's a Steve Carlton autograph baseball. Escalator. Oh my goodness, Lukester. Yeah, it's not gonna go as well. The funny part about that isn't what you would be doing on the escalator, it's the fact that you would think you were stuck. Well, no, the glass elevator at night could be kind of interesting. I know what you mean, Doug. Amish peanut butter eggs. Wow, Infringinator. That's something to look forward to. The escalators do have some sharp edges, Phil. I don't think they'll cancel Easter, Infringinator. Maybe Easter egg hunts, though. That's right, Tri-Fly Fisher. They just become stairs. That's funny. Oh, how about a Ferris wheel? stuck at the top. There you go. You gonna paint potatoes, Gary? Oh, it's my pleasure, Infringinator. Thank you for being part of it. All right, Troy, you have a great weekend, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Well, the old man will put on his glasses to see what time it is. See what the time is? No, it still sounds the same. Oh, it's only 12 after 9. Well, Phil, I think I'm sorry that you did that, but I'm glad that you did because I'd rather have you here than cooking, I guess. Because when you cook, you put pictures on Instagram and make me hungry. Mushroom Lake has returned from the inferno. Oh, thank you, John. Sorry to sleep deprive you, buddy. Nope, dry fly fisher. I have not had C&D Newmarket that I remember. Phil, you forgot the fourth thing. So it's food, photography, pipes, and quality control on lathes. Poor Phil has had a nightmare with his lathe. I still can't believe they screwed that up that badly, Phil. New hobby. I'm sorry, Phil. I'm teasing you about it, obviously, but it's terrible. I was right. Simeon 504. How you doing, buddy? What's everyone smoking? Asked Simeon. I've got some London 150 Peretti. None of that's correct. I've got some LJ Peretti 150 flake in a pipe. How about everybody else? We have to, Phil. Why am I trying to light this lighter? I got a couple Carter Hall smokers. Haunted bookshop. Couch is stuck inside because of the cold. Sorry about that, buddy. Old Dark fired. Doug's planning his after dinner smoke for later. No P.O. box in Virginator. No, no, no. Not an animal. There you go, Phil. Simeon's got Bijou and a Nording. Nice. Paul's got Balkan Supreme and a Kamoy. Gary's going with Garage Beer. Kendall Gold with a pinch of Perique and Dark Bird's Eye. Very nice, Dutka. Shandy Gaff and a Winslow Crown. Cool seller. You've been with the Shandy Gaff for a while now, haven't you? Justin's got My Mixture 965 at a very special Perkins. Mushroom Legs Royal Yacht and a St. Pat's Peterson. McConnell's Red Virginia and a Vaughn Bent Pot, but it's for tomorrow, Palm. You're teasing us, Palm. Yeah, those Winslow crowns are fantastic, Peter. Wedding photography is depressing, Michael. I remember having to pose. I hated it, and my wife got really mad at me because I said, "Look, just take pictures. You don't have to pose me." And it's things like, "Okay, now I want you to look over there and think about something important." What? How about you just take a picture of me? And we don't talk about our wedding pictures because apparently they're all terrible and it's my fault. I had always planned to have a wedding where we get married in the morning because I thought that's when weddings happen. And then you get in the car and drive away because that's what I've seen happen in movies consistently. Apparently, you're not allowed to do that, or at least you weren't allowed to do that 26 years ago. Maybe things have changed, but Mick McQuaid, that's an interesting blend, Phil. That was quite a flash, Michael. My goodness. Piper on the 45 made it home. Congratulations, Piper. I hope there wasn't weather problems. I didn't mean to make light of it if there were. All right, Luke, you have a good weekend too. Run away, it's a trap. Have I told this? I probably have told this story, but I'm going to tell it again. I was fishing one day, and I was actually walking back to the car. So I'm walking along the river. There's a road, and this was the Little Lehigh River. And as I'm walking towards my car, this car is coming towards me on the road, and it stops, and I'm on the passenger side of the car, and the window rolls down, and there's a woman driving and a young couple. Woman's driving, the guy is sitting in the passenger seat. And she leans over and like very sharply says, "Where's the church around here?" And I said, "Well, I'm fishing. I don't really know the area that well. Well, there's supposed to be a church." And I think there's a church down the road that way, but I've never been down that way, so I can't say for certain, but I think that, and I can't believe this. They told us we needed to be at the church at such and such a time. We're looking at venues for our wedding, and she's just like ranting about the fact that they can't find the church, and it's apparently not her fault that she didn't bother to look for the church before driving or something. And the guy's just sitting there looking at me very meekly, and as she's ranting, I make eye contact with the guy, and I said, loud enough that she could hear, I said, "Run away, just run away." And the window went up and she drove away. But I hope he listened, because it wasn't going to end well. And Falcon, good night, sir. Have a great weekend. He was probably wishing he was fishing, yes. But the funniest part about it was the way she rolled up the window and got out of there. You know, she thought her fish might get off the hook. Well, folks, I think we're going to finish up on time tonight, which is nice. Time flew by, man. This went by in a flash. I did this 150. It is gone. But that, for such a thick flake, that really does burn nicely. Moisture level is just perfect on it. I like that dry fly fisher. That's an interesting story, Phil. Central Cal Piper, thanks for popping in, buddy. Good to see you. Sucker indeed, Michael. I'm watching Gary and Doug try to figure out who Mick McQuaid looks like, and it's kind of funny. I think you're right, Doug. I think it was a portly Wally Cox. That's funny. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been a great deal of fun, as it always is. We'll be back next Friday, same time, same place, and probably same stuff. Yeah, it's 9:30 now in Fringinator. Sorry. And I'll have a video on Sunday. Don't know what that's going to be about yet. Probably won't be as interesting as the last two, because I can only sustain that for a couple of weeks, and then I have to go back into ranting about whatever crosses my mind. But we shall see. So, thank you again. Had a fantastic time, and always appreciate you guys spending some time with me. So with that, have a great Friday night, a great weekend, and I'll see you all next week. Bye now.